Welcome to another edition of Hometown Heroes on Family Life. I'm your host, Bill Price. Our guest this week, Cindy Goss from Lancaster, New York. She's with Catch a Falling Star, and she helps police officers cope with their job. Being a police officer today is a tough gig for sure. When you look at all that's happening across the country, what are your thoughts about how our men and women in blue are being treated today?
Not only today, this isn't something really new for law enforcement. It's just never been to this extreme. Officers have always been targeted to a certain degree, and for years prior to this, were prey to those individuals who were just killing police officers at random. Having a brother who's a SWAT commander and 3 nephews on the job, it's very scary when they go to work because you pray not only for them, but every law enforcement officer that they go home at night. But officers have already been targeted even before this whole incident that has occurred in the last several weeks. It's just intensified and magnified to such a degree we've never seen before, or at least in my lifespan.
Yeah. So what are the biggest concerns you're hearing from law enforcement today about the job that they're required to do? They can't do their jobs. They want to do their jobs, but they're not being allowed to do their jobs appropriately. They understand the bad cops. There's nobody more that hate bad cops than the good cops because we have thousands and thousands of fantastic cops who do the right thing for the right reasons. And then we have those that, give them all a bad name and a black eye. And so what happens is they all carry the brunt of those individuals who make the poor decisions or don't care about the decisions that they do make. So they're frustrated with that because they get lumped into that category of those who aren't the good officers, those that shouldn't be officers. Number one, the stress of the job that they're encountered every day because no matter what they do, it's basically a thankless job. We're speaking with Cindy Goss with Catch a Falling Star out of Western New York. And I know in Buffalo, this is a big issue. And Mayor Byron Brown is rolling out a series of police reforms. Do you feel officers need to be doing their jobs differently, or is this just going to make their jobs that much more difficult?
I think across the board, and of course we deal with the mental health of officers, we don't deal with the day-to-day operations, but I think across the board, there's always room for improvement. There's always room for revisions, and there's always room to look at what is not working. But at the same token, they still have to enforce the law. And today, there's this lack of respect for the role that they have. I know that there was some shooting in one of the hotspots in the country that was internally amongst the protesters, and they were calling for the police, but the police were told to stand down because anytime they got near their location, they would be shot and killed.
Yeah, and there's this effort now and this push to defund police departments across the country. What are the inherent dangers of doing that, Cindy?
It scares me, actually. If we did not have law enforcement agencies or some sense of control within our community, it would be a very scary place to live.
That's Cindy Goss from Lancaster, New York, this week's Hometown Hero. Join us next week as we search for your home, your town, your hero. It's Hometown Heroes on Family Life.